Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today I've got an episode of Mailbox, the series where you guys can submit your questions to me in the comment section of this video, and I will pick some of the top rated questions to answer on the next episode of Mailbox. The first question today comes from Quad Agent PI. He says, "Hi LevelCap, after returning to Battlefield 3 from a several month break, I was dismayed at how the game has become medics versus medics, as about 90% of players choose to play a medic. It seems most level 100s are medics, and packs of them roam the battlefield rushing objectives. With its virtually limitless health medic bag and its assortment of best weapons in the game, the class to me is at least way overpowered. What are your thoughts on this, and how do you think DICE can balance this class out for Battlefield 4? Well, first of all, I gotta say I agree with you 100%. The medic is without a doubt the most useful class in Battlefield. Sure, you need some engineers to take out vehicles here and there, but since there's a lot of maps that are sort of infantry focused, I find the use for any other class is far outweighed by the medic's abilities, reviving teammates and healing yourself. The fact that if you throw down a med bag on a corner that you peek around and you're having a firefight with another opponent, the med bag will actually heal you as you're being shot to the point where you can take at least one additional shot from your opponent. Now, I've talked on this before early in Battlefield because I always thought the medic class was really overpowered, and it's pretty clear that it's the most commonly played class. And there's some people who have different opinions on this subject, but I've always liked the Bad Company 2 class balance system much better. Felt like each class had a role that was important to play, useful. They gave the revive ability to the class that ran with machine guns, so you had to run with a LMG if you wanted to revive people. Assault classes had their grenade launchers and ammo. It was just differently balanced, and I don't really care which one resembles a real-life soldier more. I just want the game to be fun, balanced, and give the different classes really vital and important roles regardless of what map they play. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think Battlefield 3 could have learned a lot from Bad Company 2. I think Bad Company 2 was just overall a better balanced game, and I'd like to see them integrate more of those design concepts into the next iteration of Battlefield. Atrax1 asks, what kind of Battlefield 3 deaths annoy you the most? Do you ever get into vendetta mode or ignore/avoid these players? There isn't any particular style of gameplay that really bothers me, but I will say the deaths that bother me the most are the ones where right after I get shot by an opponent, I see the kill cam of a teammate knifing them in the back. And that just annoys the heck out of me because they could have saved my life if they had decided to shoot that guy instead of sprint up for the knife kill. So many team deaths could be avoided if you just don't sprint in for the knife kill. During that time that you're sprinting, that player can kill 2, 3, even 4 of your teammates. So you're really not doing your team any favors by going for those knife kills all the time. The next question comes from Ultramanny121. He says, LevelCap, what would you think of a planetside type world for Battlefield? As in a huge constant war in a massive server spanning over multiple terrains, do you think it would work with a modern setting like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, or would you have to create a world like that in Battlefield 2142 era? Well, I don't think it really matters what theme you bring to this larger persistent world for the most part, but I have to say I never want to see Battlefield go the MMO route. I think it's incredibly hard to balance maps the more players you have on them. I think 64 is really pushing it, and that's the max amount that you should really have on any of these sort of versus multiplayer maps. I think the smaller the maps are, the better the gameplay can be, the smaller the player bases. The more control you have over map design and balance and tweaking things so that they can be as fun as possible. As soon as you start getting into these huge epic battles with large forces, it becomes so hard to balance and so hard to get the large forces to actually clash each other. The one lesson that I think PlanetSide is sort of learning in their design flaw right now is that Zergs kind of dominate the game. So rather than having these interesting, large, epic back and forth battles, you just have these giant battles that involve one massive force crushing a smaller force, and it's really not that fun. So I hope Battlefield avoids any sort of MMO iteration of its game. Now this next question here is a troll comment without a doubt, but I had to throw it in here because I do have a good response for it. Lizard Hero asks, hey LevelCap, do you have a shit bucket? Now, if you're not familiar with the term shit bucket, it's what somebody would use if they're playing games so much that they don't have time to go to the bathroom. They'll just crap where they are. Obviously, I don't have one, but do I play games all the time? No, I don't. And sadly, I play games less than I actually did before I started doing YouTube. YouTube has really taken a huge chunk out of my schedule with editing, recording, annotating, uploading, planning out episodes, all that kind of stuff, or just whatever it is. There's always a huge amount of work to be done with YouTube, and sadly it has cut into my game schedule. So I actually used to play a lot more pre-YouTube. The next question comes from Mel Brooks. He says, "Hey LevelCap, what do you think of adding randomized weather and time of day to maps to make it so they actually affect different aspects of the game?" I think this is a great idea, and I really hope it would be implemented in Battlefield 4. You've got all these awesomely lit maps, all these maps that look great. Now what if you have a time of day selector for the servers? So say you want to play Operation Metro at nighttime. I'm sure some of you guys have seen that cool mod footage of nighttime Metro that some guys sort of hacked into the engine and turned off the daylight. It looks amazing. It looks like it would play out completely differently, needing to use tactical lights and infrared vision much more frequently to actually get the same objectives done. Rain and stormy weather, would reduce the amount of sound that you could hear of people running around and sneaking up on you, just kind of muddling the sound situation so you wouldn't be able to be as precise. Maybe MAVs and recon class would become much more needed in those type of scenarios. But just the ability to take these maps that level designers have spent so much time balancing and making look awesome, and then giving them a whole bunch of different weathers and times of days that they could be fought in, it would just add a really big level of diversity and replayability to each multiplayer map. The next question comes from Nutcrusher. He says, "Hey Level, if you wouldn't do tactical FPS videos like Battlefield 3 and PlanetSide 2, what games would you play?" Well, I'd play a lot of different games. I have to say SimCity is coming out, and I've already pre-ordered that thing. I'm going to play the heck out of SimCity. I love simulation games or city simulation games. Really enjoyed Sim Tower. I like racing games. I really enjoyed the Dirt series. Rally racing is a lot of fun to me. I also like flight simulator type games. I've been hearing a lot about War Thunder, and I'm thinking about getting into that. It's a MMO flight simulator game where you can basically recreate all the big battles from World War II and fight against other pilots and that. So there's a lot of really cool looking games out there that I either play or would like to play. But as I've said before, I want to kind of keep YouTube more about tactical shooters, because at my heart, I really do play shooters the most. I love getting into shooter strategy, and that's just what I'm going to keep this YouTube channel about. So that wraps it up for this episode of Mailbox. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave your comments, or rather questions, down below, letting me know what you'd like me to answer for the next episode. Remember to rate up questions that you'd like me to answer, and I'll do my best to get around to them. I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.